You're lying in bed. The room is quiet. The lights are off. And you know logically there is nothing there. Your clothes are on the chair, your bag is on the floor. That weird shape in the corner is probably just a shadow. Probably. But then you hear something. A creak. A tap. Something small and unexplained. And suddenly your brain stops acting like you're in a safe bedroom and starts acting like you're a tiny ancient human surrounded by predators. Your eyes open wider, your body goes still, your heart speeds up. And even though you know monsters aren't real, you still don't want to look. So why? Why does a dark hallway feel threatening? Why does your own familiar room become suspicious the moment the lights go out? You have walls, locks, electric lights, phones, street lights. Every possible reason to feel safe. And yet, the answer isn't that darkness is dangerous. The answer is that your brain never quite learned to believe that. Your brain is not scared of the dark. It is scared of what darkness hides. And for almost all of human history, that was a completely reasonable fear. Before cities, before electric lights, before locked doors, darkness changed everything. During the day, your ancestors could see. They could track animals, recognize faces, spot movement in the grass. They had information, and information meant control. But at night, the world disappeared. A tree became a stranger. A rock became an animal. A shadow became something watching. And unlike the movies, the danger wasn't imaginary. There really were things out there. Large cats, hyenas, wolves, snakes, strangers from other groups. Humans are not great in the dark. We don't have sharp claws, we can't run as fast as most predators, and our night vision is genuinely poor compared to the animals that hunted us. In the dark, we weren't powerful hunters. We were soft little humans with terrible night vision. So the ancient human brain built a rule, deep and automatic. When uncertain, assume danger. Because there were two possible mistakes. Mistake 1, assume danger when there's nothing there. You feel embarrassed. Maybe people laugh. Mistake 2, assume nothing is there when there actually is a predator. You don't survive long enough to be embarrassed. The math is obvious. It is always better to be scared of a shadow than to ignore a leopard. This is why your brain is so good at finding shapes in darkness. A pile of clothes becomes a person. A curtain becomes a face. A tree branch becomes a hand reaching through a window. Your brain is not malfunctioning. It is doing exactly what it was built to do. The humans who heard a sound and thought, relax, it's probably nothing. They may not have made it to morning. The nervous ones did. The ones who woke up, who listened, who whispered, did you hear that? Those people survived, and their brain is now inside you, trying to protect you from your laundry chair. Darkness removes information. And the human brain hates missing information. In low light, your eyes can still detect movement, shapes shifting, something crossing the darkness, but they lose the ability to see fine detail. Everything becomes soft, blurry, incomplete. Your brain receives half a picture, and a brain that receives half a picture doesn't wait patiently. It finishes the picture itself. And when it does not draw something comforting. It does not say, maybe there's a cake in the hallway. It says, what if something is standing there? Because your brain's job is not to keep you calm. Its job is to keep you alive. During the day, light corrects your brain constantly. At night, your brain has to fill in the blanks on its own, and the blanks are where fear lives. When you almost see something, a shape, a flicker, a shadow that might have shifted, your brain catches that fragment and defaults to the most useful answer for survival. Danger. This is also why sounds seem to grow louder at night. Not literally. The pipe in your wall makes the same noise it always did. But when vision weakens, your brain compensates by paying closer attention to hearing. A tiny creak feels enormous. Wind near a window sounds like breathing. Your house makes these sounds all day and you never notice them. At night, your brain collects every single one like pieces of evidence. Creak, tap, scratch, silence. And sometimes the silence is the worst part. Because silence makes you wait. And waiting gives your imagination room to work. For most of human history, there was one answer to all of this. Fire. Fire didn't just keep people warm or help them cook. It changed what night meant. A fire created a circle. Inside that circle, people could see each other's faces. They could talk, share food, tell stories, hear each other laugh. They had information, company, and safety. Outside that circle was the unknown. The fire became a border. On one side, humans. On the other, everything else. This is probably why campfires feel the way they do even today. Ancient, comfortable, like something clicking back into place. But even fire never removed the darkness completely. Beyond that warm ring of light, the night was still there, still watching. That feeling never fully went away. Widespread electric lighting is only a tiny moment in human history. For hundreds of thousands of years, and for our ancestors even longer, darkness meant real physical danger. Your brain evolved in that world, and evolution is very, very slow. It doesn't update just because there are light switches on the wall. So your modern brain lives in a modern world with heated rooms, locked doors, and streetlights outside the window, but it still runs ancient software. This is why horror movies almost never need to show the monster to scare you. They just show a dark hallway, a basement, a door slightly open, and your brain does the rest, because the scariest moment is never the monster. It's the moment before the monster, the waiting, the not knowing, the feeling that something could be there. Darkness doesn't just remove light, it hands your imagination full control, and imagination doesn't have limits the way reality does. A real animal has a size, a shape, and a location. An imagined thing can be anywhere, behind you, above you, standing perfectly still in a corner. That is a feature, not a flaw. Fear kept ancient humans close to the fire, made people sleep in groups, kept someone awake while others rested. In a world without electric light, being afraid of the dark wasn't weakness. It was the reason they survived. There's one more thing darkness does that we don't talk about enough. It makes you feel alone. In darkness, faces disappear. Distances disappear. The room feels empty, but somehow not empty enough. For ancient humans, being alone at night was genuinely dangerous. A group meant more eyes, more ears, more protection. So when you're in a dark room by yourself, your brain registers something deeper. I am isolated. I cannot see. This is wrong. This is why a single voice can change everything. A friend nearby, a light left on down the hall, something that tells your brain you are not completely alone. We don't just fear the dark, we fear being alone with the unknown. So the next time you turn off the lights and feel that familiar unease creeping in, don't dismiss it. You are not weak. You are not being childish. You are not overreacting. You are carrying a system built for forests, for caves, for long cold nights with no walls, no locks, and animals that could see, hear, or smell in the dark far better than you ever could. Your fear is old. Older than cities, older than houses, older than the little switch on your wall. It existed before you were born, before your parents were born, before any human being wrote anything down anywhere. And it is still here, because darkness doesn't scare us because it's empty. It scares us because it gives our imagination too much space. Somewhere deep inside, there is still an ancient version of you sitting beside a fire, staring out at the black edge of the world, waiting for something to blink back. And maybe that's why, even now, we still hesitate before looking into the dark. And if you like strange questions like this, subscribe to my channel. I'll be exploring more stories about humans, history, science, and the strange things our minds still carry from a world we no longer live in.